So, tomorrow, the world marks International Mother Language Day, and that's a moment that highlights a pressing global challenge. Millions of children begin school, sadly, in a language they neither speak nor fully understand. UNESCO estimates that around 40% of the world's population doesn't have access to education in a language they understand. In Africa, the most linguistically diverse continent on the planet, well, that reality has profound implications for literacy, inclusion, and long-term development. This year's theme focuses on young people and the future of multilingual education. But beyond policy debates, the question remains, how do we turn language into a tool for opportunity rather than a barrier? Well, to help us unpack this, we're now joined by Prudence Erens, who's a program manager at the iBali Trust, South Africa's national Reading for Enjoyment campaign. With over a decade of experience in program design, impact measurement, and community development, she works to strengthen literacy in local languages and build culture of reading among children across the country. Prudence, thank you very much indeed for joining us, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Peter. How are you doing? And thank you so much for having me today. Peter, I'm not sure if I'm audible. Are you able to hear
Can you
me?
hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Am I audible on your end?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. So, Prudence,
Great.
for listeners across the continent who may not be familiar with International Mother Language Day, why does this day matter, and why is language such a critical issue when it comes to development? And it's not just a cultural one.
Thank you so much, Peter. And again, good morning to your listeners and to those that are viewing. So International Mother Language Day, which is celebrated on the 21st of February each year, is really a reminder of the richness, diversity, and importance of our indigenous languages, right? And it really tells us that language is more than communication. I think, just as you mentioned as well, that it's more than culture, that it carries identity, it carries memory, and it carries belonging. And for children especially, their mother tongue is the language that they think in, they dream in, and understand the world through. So when we are able to protect, preserve, and promote mother languages, we are able to strengthen not only literacy, but confidence and identity. And through, celebrating International Mother Language Day, it enables us to do that. It enables us to really zoom in and focus on the importance and the value of mother language and what it does when we are preserving it, when we are utilizing it to its fullest, because it builds potential for the children. It really helps them in connecting not only with themselves, but also that they're able to see themselves when they hear themselves within their languages and when they hear others speaking in their languages. So this is really an important day for us, and it also sets the bar and the tone for everything else that we are doing in preserving language, in preserving culture, in ensuring that children hear themselves and they see themselves in the stories that they are told.
So UNESCO says that millions of children are taught in languages that they don't fully understand or know. What actually happens then to a child's learning when their home language isn't the language of instruction?
I think that's such an important question, Peter, because we all come from a background where we were taught either in English and your mother language was either your first additional language or second language from where we come from. And we also see that, and how you lose yourself, you lose your sense of identity through it, you lose your sense of understanding through it. Because remember, when you are born, the first language that you make contact with is your mother language. The first language that you are speaking in the home is your mother language. And when you are now exiting that space and going into the spaces of learning, you are now redirected or diverted into learning in a language that's not your mother language, which really, and as the study has revealed, which does have a very big impact on the children and their growth. And I've seen this in how children even engage with the stories that we share. That when you share it in English, their confidence is not really there. They do it because I am meant to learn in this language. I'm meant to speak this language in this space. But when you engage with them in their mother language, the engagement is different. The response is much different, and they are able to learn much more effectively. So the study really a very relevant story about what we're experiencing within schools and how disadvantaged it is for children when they are not learning in their mother languages. And I think just much broader than that, we also stand to lose the significance of mother languages for the children within their home, because you can also see in how the children's vocabulary develops when they're speaking in their mother languages, when they understand what they meant to speak to or what they meant to feed into in their mother languages, the confidence is there to speak it in another language. And there's also really that cross-cultural building that happens when we are able to connect within our mother languages, because there's also really a lot of alignment that happens when we're speaking in our mother languages and when we are connecting with others in our mother languages. And this also plays off in schools, because when we are in school and we're able to learn and gain understanding within our mother languages, we're able to build the vocabulary, we're able to build the learning, and we're better equipped to apply the learning into our lives.
What do you say to parents who are worried that if children are educated in their home language instead of a global language like, I don't know, English, French on our continent, that they'll get left behind? What does the evidence tell us?
The evidence tells us differently, Peter, and I'll make an example with what has recently happened in KZN. In KwaZulu-Natal, in some of the schools there, the children were able to learn and write exams in their mother languages. And we've seen the results, within the matric pass rate recently, that were recently released, that there was quite a big increase in the pass rate. And that just shows that when children are able to learn and really participate in their learning within their mother languages, that there is development, that there is growth, and that there is impact. So for parents who fear that, their children would be able to not excel, like for a better word, in the schooling environment if they're taught in another language as opposed to their mother languages, studies or the recent results have shown that that's different, when it's implemented. And I believe also, Peter, that when you are able to learn within your mother language, it becomes easier for you to adapt to other languages. It becomes easy for you to also understand better the language of instruction that you might be using, because you're learning it from a point of engaging with it from the home and coming into the community and then going into the school with it. Remember that our children engage and participate more within their mother languages in their environments, as opposed to the language of instruction when they go into schools. So I believe that there's definite change that will happen. I believe that there's definite great impact, as we've seen, as I've just mentioned, with what happened in the schools and in KwaZulu-Natal. And not to say that the only attribution to the increase in the pass rate for KZN is because of them utilizing their mother language within their learning and within the exam writing, but that this is a big contributor to it. So if it could happen in that small space, I believe if implemented globally, it will definitely have much greater impact.
Prudence, we're going to have to leave it there, unfortunately, but thank you so much indeed for giving us some insights into this very important day, Mother Language Day tomorrow. Thank you for your time and thank you for the work that you're doing.
Thank you so much, Peter, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. That's Prudence Erens, who's manager at the iBali Trust, speaking to us ahead of Mother Language Day. And it is so called because, well, children speak their first words as they hear them from their mothers. And that's how the term became phrased. It's 7:30. It's time for your news headlines with Matapelo Mahape.